So, yeah, sit down, no problem. So, as you know, we'll be studying a portion of the Bhagavad Gita today. Before we start the verses under discussion, just we should know a little background. So, this topic which we are discussing today is a part of the 17th chapter. So, at the end of the 16th chapter denotes the divine qualities and the demonical qualities. So, after that is over, then Arjuna asks Shri Krishna that at the end of the chapter, Shri Krishna says that we have to follow the mandates of the scriptures. How shall we decide what is right and what is wrong? So Krishna says you have to follow the injunctions of the scriptures. So Arjuna asks him in the beginning of the 17th chapter that those who leave aside the injunction of the scriptures but still worship you with faith, what happens to them? So his question is, those who, endued with faith, adore God by ignoring the injunctions of the scriptures, what happens to them? This is the question. But here we should remember that ignoring the scriptures does not mean that they know what is written in the scriptures but still ignore them. Not that. Here ignoring means they cannot find any injunction for some particular work. They cannot locate any injunction in the scripture. They have faith in the scriptures, but they cannot locate any such injunction. But they are faithful and they worship you with faith. What happens to them? So in reply, Sri Krishna says that there is a threefold division of how each karma can be done. So what will happen to them depends upon what type of faith they have. Each thing can be done with three kinds of attitudes or three kinds of faith. So it not only depends upon what we do, but it depends upon how we do that. Upon our attitude will depend upon the result, will depend the result we get. That is what Shri Krishna says. So Shri Ramakrishna also says in Bengali, in the Gospel he says, same thing, Jamon bhav, tamon labh. The same thing is said in these three words. That as your faith is, bhav means as your attitude is, tamon labh, labh means what you will get. So it all depends on the mental attitude. So Shri Krishna then describes the differences in these threefold faith, that is sattva, rajas and tamas. So doing anything with a sattvika attitude is the best. Inferior to that is doing it with a rajasika attitude. And the lowest of all is tamas, that is doing it with the lowest of attitudes, So for each thing, he describes these three kinds of faith. So for gifts also, for dana also, this rule applies. That giving is good, no doubt, but if we want to get the maximum results, then we should know the rules for giving. So if we give in the Sattvika aspect, our gains will be maximum. If we give with a Rajasika aspect, it will be lower, and the lowest of all is Tamasika. So it is very important to know how to give. So we will study that. It is a very useful as well as a interesting study, because this applies to all those who are of a generous heart and who want to benefit others as well as themselves. So we all know that dana or giving occupies a very high place in our scriptures. It is nothing but a kind of service. And in the scriptures it is written that Seva Paramo Dharma, the highest dharma, the highest thing which a man can do is to serve others. So when we give something, we are actually serving somebody. So it occupies a very high place in the scriptures. So what is the definition of dana? What is the definition of giving, what we call charity or etc.? So in a simple way it is said that distribution of food etc. that are one's own property, giving those things as directed in the scriptures and according to one's ability. So giving, mentioning, abiding by the rules of the scriptures, first thing. Second thing, according to one's ability. Giving to anyone, any kinds of either gift or in money or anything, obeying the rules of the scriptures and according to one's ability is called dana. So our Ramanujacharya adds one word here, Nyayarjita Dhanasya. Nyaya Arjita means dhana, if you give money, it should be earned by proper means. It should not be that you steal 1 million and give half a million, expect some good result. No. So it should be yours, what you give, obtained by valid means. You should obey the rules of the scriptures and give according to one's own ability. This is the simple definition of dana or giving. So, 3 types of dana which we will discuss today. Those who can read Devanagari, it is in front of you, and those who cannot, for them I have given on the screen. So let us chant these verses, then we will discuss it. I will just chant half a verse, then you please repeat, then the next half and so on. So first is Sattvika Danam, that is the best, highest kind. Datavyam iti yad danam diyate nupakarine deshe kale cha patre cha taddanam satvikam smritam. So, datavyam, yad danam datavyam anupakarane, and deshe kale cha patre cha. So, we will just see the word by word meanings so that it is absolutely clear. I will share the image here. So here you can see each word explained. That first is danam. Danam, gift. Any gift which you give. Yat. Yat means which. Diyate, which is given. Iti means with the idea, with the conviction. So Sattvika Danam is given with the conviction. What? What conviction? This is very important. Conviction is Datavyam. It should be given. Those who know a little Hindi or Sanskrit are familiar with this Tavya. Kartavya means what? It should be done. Gantavya. It's a place where we should go. So this Tavya suffix is used in the sense of should. So Datavya means this should be given. That is the only motive. Second, what is the second characteristic of this type of giving? Anupakarine, who has done not any good to you. Anupakara. And it should not be given with a motive of getting something also. First of all, if you give to somebody, it is not that you are giving in exchange for what he has given to you. Secondly, you don't have any hope of getting also. Neither are you beholden to him, nor do you expect him to give anything back to you. This is called Datavyam Anupakarine. And it should be given at the proper deshe, at the proper place. Place proper is holy places. In India we have many of them. In every country some places are regarded as holy. Like places of pilgrimage, all these things. Kale, kal means time, at the proper time. You don't call somebody at midnight and tell him I am coming to give you something. So, and another meaning is that some periods are, we have believed that some periods are specially auspicious, like solar eclipse and all that. So if you give at those times, it is more, more propitious, auspicious. So Desh, Kal, proper time and proper place. And most important, Patre. Patre means to a right kind of person. If you give to someone and you know that next day you will gamble it all away or indulge in some vice, it's no use. So he should be deserving. So Patre, you can see what is the description given: to one who is deserving and endued with learning and austerity. So that kind of person is very difficult to get. But what the thing here is, he should be a good person who will put your gift to a good use. That is the thing. So that gift which is of this kind, what kind? First, it is given with the attitude only that I should give. That's all. Secondly, it is not given to someone who has done something and you are giving in return. And it is not done with an expectation of any return gift. Third, it is given at the proper place, proper time, and to a proper person. So that kind of gift is the highest gift. That is called the Sattvika Dhanam. That is the thing. This is the meaning in brief. That is the highest kind of gift. What is it? So let us go into a little detail. So first is the attitude that datavya means I should give. My only duty is to give. Why? Because I have also received many things. I have also got many things from others. We cannot survive without that. So when I have got many things, I am to return them also. It cannot be a one-way traffic that I will only take and not give anything. When I am taking, I should give also. So with that attitude, everything should be given. Not that what the results will be in this world or in another world. Expecting that it is not to be given. So the whole attitude is of tyaga. Tyaga means whole attitude is of renunciation. And it should not be given to one who has given something earlier and you are giving just in return. So this does not mean that you don't give something to anybody who has given you anything. It is not that. If anybody has done any good to you, it is your bounden duty to give something back in return. It is because all grateful people will do that. Here it means that if somebody has given you something and you are giving something in return only, don't consider it as dana. Because it is your duty. If you don't give anything in return for what you receive, then you are an ungrateful person. An ungrateful person in the scriptures is called the worst type of person. So that none of us are. So anybody who is giving you anything, it is our duty to help him in any way we can. But only thing is, don't regard that as dana. Sattvika dana only will be you are giving to someone to whom you are not beholden to at all. And you don't even expect anything in return. That is the spirit here. So we should remember that when it is said that it should not be given to someone who has done anything for you, this is the meaning. It is not that somebody does something for you and you forget about it. No. That is the worst kind of person. In the Mahabharata it is said, one should not place trust on these persons. Which kind of persons? Swindler, an idle person, a fierce person, one who boasts of his own powers, a thief, and an ungrateful person. So here it does not mean to be ungrateful. Here it only means that when you give something to somebody who has already done you some good, don't regard it as dana. It is your duty to give something. So this is the first thing. And of course, right place, right time, and right person. So right place, we have seen that places of pilgrimage, holy places, or right place can be interpreted in another sense, that where something is lacking. So if a region is facing some drought or something, then you go and give food and clothing, because in that place it is needed. Right time also, similarly, two interpretations can be there. One is auspicious time like eclipse and all, and the time when it is needed most. So some calamity is there, some earthquake is there. At that time you should go and provide shelter. Not at the time when everybody is already in peace and nobody wants anything. So, right place, right time, and right person. Right person we have discussed. That those who will make good use of your gift. So when you give to all, considering all these, right time, right place, right person, then you give something just because it is your duty to give, not because you want something in return. That kind of gift is the best gift and is called Sattvika Dhanam. So in Bengali, Swami Vivekananda said in a poem, Thou, give, phire nahi chao. Don't ask for anything in return. Jodi thake hridaye sambal. If your heart is large, then give and don't ask like a beggar again for return. So this is a very famous quotation of Swami Vivekananda. So just a few pointers from Gyaneshwari. Gyaneshwari, the speciality, I have already said that he gives wonderful similes. Sant Gyaneshwar, he gives beautiful similes to explain the meaning. So he says, how should you give? The best kind of gift, what should be the attitude? He says, somebody has deposited something with you. Some friend, he is going outstation, he has deposited some valuable with you. So when he comes back, you give it to him again. You don't expect him to give you anything in return because it was his belonging. So he said, this is the attitude you should adopt when you give something to anybody. That it is his property, God has given you for some time, but you should give what actually was supposed to come to that person. So naturally for that you don't expect anything. So that should be the attitude. See how beautifully he has made us understand. Another way he explains is, nothing should come back to you. How he explains? That when you shout in the sky, does anything come back to you? There is no echo or anything, clear sky. Or if you try to see a reflection on the reverse side of a mirror, do you see anything? You see nothing. Or if you bounce a ball against marshy ground or some very soft ground, will the ball return to you? You don't expect that. Similarly, if you give somebody to something, don't expect anything in the same way. There should not even be the feeling in your mind that you are giving something and somebody else is receiving something. That feeling itself should not be there. It should only be, we should only feel that it is my duty to give and I am giving what this person was supposed to get. God ordained that he was supposed to get it from my hand, that is all. I have no right to this thing. This is the feeling. So it's a very, very high attitude. Another simile he gives is, as the tree by the roadside gives its shade to all. Does the tree tell us, give me something in return? Nothing. Similarly, we have to give without expecting anything in return. So Sant Gyaneshwar puts this type of gift in a very high category. He says, this is the gateway to liberation. If we can really give like this, but it is very difficult. Somewhere in the corner of the mind, there will be some expectation. At least that person should thank me. At least when we meet next time, at least he should behave courteously. If he doesn't, immediately the thought will come, this fellow, I did so much for him, he is not even acknowledging. It has to come in the mind. If it comes, you are expecting something. So it is very difficult to do this. It requires a lot of spiritual practices. So this is the best type of gift. Okay, now we come to one that is good, but it is of a lower category. So what is that? Let's see. That is called the Rajasika Danam. Rajasika, it is of a lower category than Sattvika Danam. So let us first chant the verse which describes this type of gift. You can see the verse in front of you. So as before, I will chant half a verse and you can please repeat. Yat tu pratyupakarartham phalam uddishya va punah diyate cha pariklishtam taddanam rajasam smritam. Yeah. So we will see each word is before you explained. Yat tu, but that first of all the highest gift has been described. But that danam, yat danam, which is different from the sattvika one, diyate. Diyate means it is given. How it is given? Prati upakara artham means it is given with a view that I will also get something in return, expecting reciprocation. So that type of dana, or again, uddishya phalam. Phalam uddishya means some result. You may not get anything directly, but you have some result in mind. If I do a sacrifice, I am offering to the gods and they will take me to heaven. So those sacrifices are there in the Vedas. Swarga kamo yajeta. Kama means desiring. Those who desire heaven should do a sacrifice. So that sacrifice, when it is done with a motive, I shall go to heaven. So phalam uddishya means desiring the result. Or it is given pariklishtam. Klishta means klesh. Klesh means pain. So when we are giving, you are not giving happily. We are giving painfully. Oh, I have to give. Otherwise this fellow, he will not give me this and that thing. Or some powerful person has come. You have some selfish motive. I will get this. So you have to give something in return. And of course, there is many countries, there is so much corruption and all. So you have to give something. But you don't, if you give a bribe or something to somebody, you don't give it happily. You give it grudgingly. You don't have any respect for that person. You are giving some, maybe if you have to give X amount, afterwards you will go outside and abuse that person. That rascal, he has taken so much. He could have taken a little less also. So this is given grudgingly. This type of gift is much lower than sattvika gift, and it is called a rajasika gift. So what are the characteristics of this kind of gift? First, it is given expecting something in return, either material or monetary. Secondly, it is given with an eye towards the result. What will be the result of giving? Well, I get something good. You go to a temple, you offer something to God. God, please get me a good job, get me a good wife, give me a son later. So all these prayers which all of us do at the temples, all of these are rajasika. They are all done with a view to the results and grudgingly. Grudgingly means you are not giving happily. Either you are being forced to give or you are very annoyed that you have to give so much. So when something is given in that with that attitude, it is called a Rajasika gift. That is the thing. So Rajasika persons, those who are deeply attached to the world, they give in this way. So naturally, when he gives at a particular function, suppose there is a big function at the house and all. So they arrange some gifts for all those who are coming, relatives, friends, etc. So you give to them. Why? Because you also expect that when you go to their place, they will also give you something. So this means that when this type of gift is given, a person is attached to the world. He is expecting something from the world, person or some god or something. So it attaches himself to the world. But the first kind of gift, he has no attachment at all. That is the highest. So here also we see what occupies the highest place, in which there is no attachment. So Rajasika person, when he gives with a desire for result. So naturally this means that he is attached to the world, or with a desire for fruits like heaven, etc. And Pariklishtam. Pariklishtam means he gives with a lot of pain in his heart. Oh, that person, I had told him I will help him sometime. So many days he has passed, he did not need, but that fellow now he needs. Now I have to give because I told him. And if I give so much, my wealth will be reduced by so much. But what to do? If I don't give, he will not help me afterwards when I need him, we need his help. Or we think that if by giving $50 it will be okay, why give 100? Or we think that, oh, if I give this amount every time, that fellow will expect this amount every time. So all these things go on in our mind. We all know very well, no need to describe. So all these are calculations of worldly persons. So when in this way it is given, that is called Rajasika Dhanam. So even it is said that Devas mean the small gods to whom we sacrifice when we want to get something back. Om Indraya Nama, Om Varunaya Nama, all these Vedic gods. So when we are sacrificing in those names, we are not giving gifts to Parameshwara, we are not giving to Supreme God, we are giving to those smaller gods with a view to getting something in return. So it is said that those gods also, when they give the exact amount which we should get, not more. They are also very calculating. So when you go to heaven, suppose you have done sacrifices which will grant you a place in heaven for 10 years, suppose. It is just like a bank investment. So after that period is over, those devas will kick you out. Go back to earth. Give us something again. Then again you can come to heaven. So that is the world. Give and take. So in big people's house, when there is a big function, maybe 50, 100, 200 persons are coming. There is a person called Munim. Munim means, what do you call in English? He is a sort of accountant sort of person. So whenever somebody gives something, he will write down the name and what he has given.
Yeah, that happens in the
So, why? Because when the time comes to give him something,
yes.
it should be exactly in proportion to what he has given. It is full mathematics, full calculation. He will get only what he has given. They keep in mind, if somebody has given you a gift worth $10, we should not give something worth $15 also. Keep it to $10. So this kind of gift, which is given with calculation and given with some expectation in return, or given grudgingly, that is called Rajasika gift. So, although it is not bad, but it is lower than Sattvika. So now let's come to the lowest kind. I will share the image again. So let us repeat the words again so that we remember these words. It will be easier to understand. Adesha kale yat danam apatrebhyascha diyate asat kritam avagyatam tat tamasam udaritam. So as I've told you, many words in Sanskrit, to convert them to opposite is very easy. Just add a. Dharma, adharma. Like that. So here also we see, first of all, deshe kale cha patre cha. Right person, right time, right place. Okay? Best kind of gift. Here everything is opposite. Adesha, akala, apatra. Adesha means giving at the wrong place. Akala, giving at the wrong time. Apatra, giving to a wrong person. Yat danam diyate, what is given in this way. What is it called? So we will see here, you can see the words one by one, we can see. Tat, that, danam, gift, yat, which, diyate, is given, adeshe, at an improper place, which either naturally or due to contact with wicked people is a seat of sin and unholy. So the place itself may be dirty. If you want to give somebody, you don't invite him in near a garbage can and give. The place itself may be unholy, dirty place, or by nature it is impure because many vices are done there, all those places. So that is called a wrong place. Then akale, at an improper time. As I told you, you simply don't call somebody at midnight and tell him, I want to give a gift, please come. And apatra means an undeserving person who is a rogue. You know that he will either waste your money, or with that money he may do somebody some harm also. Mind you, if he does somebody some harm with your money, anything which you give, that result will come to you also. Yeah, because you have helped him in a way, no? So we should be very careful. And asat kritam. So without proper respect. If you give something to somebody, it should be with proper Shraddha, with respect. In the Upanishad it is said, Shraddhaya Deyam, Ashraddhaya Adeyam. Don't give without respect. So, there is one incident in Holy Mother's life. In those days, in villages, there was a lot of caste, taboo and all that. So, one person had come to Holy Mother's place and he was sitting down for food. So, most probably he belonged to a low caste or something. So, mother called somebody to serve him food. So, because of that caste bias, that person stood at a distance and threw the food at his plate. So, mother said, "What is this? Is this a way of giving something? If you cannot give, you give it to me. I'll give it." So, when you give something to somebody, give it with respect. So, here Asatkritam means it is given without respect. In India, there was a tradition that you invite a noble person, you first wash his feet. In Krishna Sudama, what do we see? Sudama is a Brahmin, very noble person. He comes to Krishna. Krishna washes his feet. So all these are ways of showing honor. So even though the place, time and person may be perfect, but if you don't give with the correct attitude, with correct showing of respect, that dana is also not sattvika. Asat kritam, and that is another word is there which is similar to the meaning, avagyatam. Avagyatam means with disdain, without showing in an insulting manner. "Oh, you fellow, you have come. Okay, you beggar, you take this and go." All that type of giving is tamasika giving, because you are not giving showing the proper respect. So udharitam means it is declared to be what? Tamasa. It is declared to be tamasika. Tamasika means here the lowest kind of gift. So this is called a tamas dominated charity. So you give something, but you give something which you have got by committing theft, or you give something at an unholy hour, or giving somebody at an unclean place, or giving somebody something to the wrong kind of person, unholy person, gamblers and all that. So this kind of gift is called tamasika gift. So here again, let us go to Gyaneshwari. He says, a tamasika person, suppose he by chance finds himself in a holy place. Tamasika person will not go to a holy place knowingly. So by chance he is wandering and he suddenly finds himself at a holy place, bank of the Ganga or something. And fortunately, it is also an auspicious hour. He has not done anything to get that. It has come to him, suppose. He gives a very wonderful example that suppose an insect is wandering about here and there. Maybe some ink is there on its leg. So suppose he carves a beautiful design by wandering on a piece of wood. By chance, he is just wandering here and there, a design is carved. So here also, a tamasika person suddenly finds himself by chance at a holy place, and the hour is also holy. And thus, just then comes his way a very good person who is fit for receiving some nice gift. All these things are there, good things, auspicious things. But that tamasika person, when he gives him, he does not give with any faith. He does not bend down before him, does not welcome him, does not offer him any water or something, does not spread a mat for him. He just throws something at him with disdain, disrespect. So although all the conditions have been met, other conditions, good place, good time, good person, but since there is no respect in that kind of giving, that kind of gift is called tamasika gift. So in these short verses, he has described how a gift should be given, how dana should be done. If the best type of dana we want to do, it will be purely with a spiritual attitude. Nothing material should come into it. Give to the right person at the right time, at the right place. Don't expect anything worldly in return. Don't expect any heaven also, other world also, this world or that world. Give how? Give only because you should give. That is all. If you do something what you should do you expect anything in return? It is your duty. So here also it should be done in that way. That is the best type. Second type, lower than that, if you give something good, but you are giving it with some hope of return, either today or tomorrow, that is called Rajasika gift. And third is, everything is wrong in that. You are giving to the wrong person, wrong place, wrong time, in the wrong way. So although it is a gift, but the results you could have get, you won't get because you have not the discrimination as to how to give. So these three things, these three types of gifts have been mentioned. Now we see, I will quote something from Swami Vivekananda. So here we see how, because of the teaching of Ramakrishna, Swamiji has even gone higher. His attitude is even higher than what has been mentioned here. We think that Sattvika gift, what can be higher? Giving to the right place, right person, right time, just because I want to give. But see the words of Swami Vivekananda. Even that is not enough for him. What he says, let us see. I quote him. The desire to do good is the highest motive power we have. If we know all the time that it is a privilege to help others, even the attitude that this is my duty, I have to do it, that is also not enough for Swami Vivekananda. He says, give only thinking that actually you are beholden. You are the receiver. Why? Because the opportunity has been given for you to give. So it is a privilege. See the attitude. Then he says, do not stand on a high pedestal and take 5 cents in your hand and say, here my poor man. But be grateful that the poor man is there, so that by making a gift to him, you are able to help yourself. See how high a man can go. It is not the receiver who is blessed, it is the giver. Why? He says, Swamiji says, be thankful that you are allowed to exercise your power of benevolence and mercy in the world and thus become pure and perfect. So if somebody takes something from me, I should be grateful to that person. That by doing good to him, I have been given the opportunity to purify my mind. All good acts tend to make us pure and perfect. That is the only benefit of a good act. Nothing else. If we think we are giving something for a hospital and all that, which will remain for immemorial time, all these thinking are absolutely without any basis. He explains this. What does he say? He says, what can we do best? He is speaking to a Christian audience in America, you see, that's why maybe he's adopting this thing. What can we do best? Build a hospital, make roads, or erect charity asylums. We may organize a charity and collect 2 or 3 millions of dollars. Build a hospital with 1 million, with the second gives balls and drinks champagne, and the third let the officers steal, and leave the rest finally to reach the poor. But what are all those? One mighty wind, one huge wind, in 5 minutes can break up all your buildings. One avalanche can simply wipe out whole villages. One volcanic eruption may sweep away all our roads and hospitals and cities and buildings. What shall we do then? Where have all the great gifts gone? So let us give up all this foolish talk of doing good to the world. Don't even think that you are doing good. Then, how do you give? With what attitude? He says the world is not waiting for your or my help. You should work and constantly do good because it is a blessing to yourself. That is the only way we can become perfect. So this is the ultimate. Nothing can be higher than this. That is why that incident we all know. That Sri Ramakrishna was in ecstasy. So he was quoting Chaitanya Deva that Jive Daya means have mercy on people. So Sri Ramakrishna said Jive Daya. Then he said, what? You fellow, one small disease can wipe you out. You are nothing, insignificant creature. You will show mercy. Who are you to show mercy? Only God can show mercy. Then he says, no. If you give someone something, give with the attitude that you are worshipping that person. You are worshipping the God in that person. And by worshipping God, God is not benefited. If we worship God, God is not benefited. We are benefited. So that is the attitude. So Swami Vivekananda has heard that, and afterwards he had said that, what a great message I have heard, and I will propagate it in time. So what the quotation which I have quoted is from his book, the Karma Yoga. So he is just propagating what he had heard from Sri Ramakrishna. So this is the highest attitude what one can have. And of course, when a person has actually realized spiritual truths, and he realized the presence of God in every person, then when he gives something, for him everything is worship. Because he actually sees that when he is giving only to God. God resides in each person, or you can say that God has become each person, whatever attitude. So that is the highest stage. He doesn't need anybody to tell him how to do, because he is actually perceiving. So he has gone beyond everything. So This is what it said in the Gita about gifts. If we give, how to give, whom to give, in what way to give. So, upon our attitude will depend our development. It's as simple as that. So let us stop here today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.